Hello, everyone. An Olympic salute to everyone joining today, from medical innovators, scientists, industry leaders, and experts joined here. We're going to be talking about the Medical Innovation Olympics, the fourth annual global virtual event that's kicking off in 10 days. And so we're live now on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and Facebook. This is your chance to ask us some questions, share some comments. We go live every week for the last few months in order to make the world more aware about this opportunity and why it is a very unique environment as well. And so I want to give a chance to everyone here joined here today to invite all of you personally as well. Eddie Power hasn't joined us in a few weeks on these lives. We've done quite a few webinars, and maybe I'll ask him to kick it off. But before he does, I want to let you guys know that Eddie Power is an industry leader for many years, Vice President North America Medical Affairs at Pfizer, taught medical school, as well as a professor, lecturer, and he's a lot of experience organizing events, educational events. In fact, I met him first in January of this year at an exceptional AI in Medical Affairs conference, which he hosted and he co-moderated as well, actually with Vivek Mukhatyar, whom you'll meet at our event as well. And it was one of the most memorable events I had attended, great environment that they had set up. And so I would like maybe him to kick things off, since he's our guest today, in terms and tell us why he joined the board here in our event. Eddie, maybe kick us off here.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for that introduction. Well, for me, certainly, I always like looking at these events in terms of a spirit of innovation. You mentioned learning, you mentioned education. For me, there's a curiosity that we should all have, that drives us to look at things and what we can do better, what we can improve on. I'm particularly excited about the panel that I'll be part of, that's really looking at leadership in AI. You mentioned AI, and it's not so much looking at the tech and leading with the tech, but really looking at process and workflow and how we can identify the gaps or the problems, where then tech like AI can come in and offer a solution or lead to something better, whether it be better health outcomes, better patient management, better improvement on a personal level or on a public health level. So those are some of the areas that I'm really excited about and looking forward to, Tim.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for a sneak preview for those who are attending and maybe thinking about joining. So John, Chris, let's maybe hear from Graham Long. He hasn't been on some of our sessions as well. So Graham, please take it away.
Thanks, Tim. No, I'm really looking forward to the competition, the sort of vast array of innovation, idea, and the passion that all of the competitors display. I'm a constant learner, lifelong learner, and seeing some of these solutions in today's space where we do have tools such as AI, where you can really leverage data to gain insights that us as mere humans, mortals, couldn't possibly process. It's truly staggering to see the advancements in medicine, technology, diagnostics. So just super excited to see with the solutions that our panelists have our competitors have come up with, and get a chance to hopefully guide them to a successful outcome in finding funding and then realizing their dream to bring solutions to market and patients.
Yeah. Graham, would you mind taking maybe a minute also to introduce your background as well? You'll be an expert judge, so you will be judging, and you were quite active in your comments, I remember, in the Olympic trials in both of the sessions. So maybe give your background a little bit.
Absolutely. So I'm trained as a biochemist, a clinical biochemist. I got a PhD from Cambridge University in the UK. I spent a number of years in biopharma, drug development, and then a number of years in basic cancer research before transitioning to the commercial world. For the last 20 plus years, I've worked for small, medium, and large companies commercializing scientific and technology solutions across the globe. So got a very broad experience in different markets, but primarily in drug development and diagnostics.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, we're looking forward to your first Medical Innovation Olympics, right, this year, right? Yes.
Myself too. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. Thank you. John or Chris, yeah, whoever wants to go next.
I go first.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, this is a really good time to be involved in something like this, because we have this question about AI, and it's agentic AI also, which is and how that can feed into developing novelty. And I find it very interesting using AI to search for information, because it does such subtle searching. It's very clever. I've studied the maths and the back propagation and things like that, and I see what's happening in the background. But actually, it's interesting. This is really a good time to be involved in a contest like this. Either as a participant, as a judge, as a presenter. I shall be presenting on the developments in looking at mitochondria and mitochondrial DNA, which is something that, you know, some of the recent papers in the 2024. I presented a poster at the British Society. Well, there's lots of British people on this call, aren't there? The British Society for Research on Aging in Manchester in early September, and I'll go into some of the sort of bringing together some of the work on the mitochondrial DNA, selective mitophagy, and rapamycin, and things like that. That I think people may hopefully find interesting. I think it's great importance, some of the more recent findings there. I look forward to learning, and it's a learning process for everyone, learning for participants, as I was a participant last year, and learning for everybody else involved as well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to and excited about that topic and your presentation. And you'll be judged this year as well. You're a competitor, and you actually came away with prizes as well. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I learned. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I've made progress, and actually, earlier this week I sold my first product for the first time. So you know, that's on Amazon. It's only available in the UK, so I can't market it to people here.
Congratulations on that. You were actually X Prize, I believe, also X Prize contest.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we pulled out of that because we weren't happy with the contract. So we were going to do that. We're looking at the ALS at the moment, but we weren't happy with the agreement, so we wouldn't sign it. And obviously, if you don't sign the agreement, you can't participate.
Yeah. And Chris, of course, please, what are some of your thoughts going in 10 days until we light the torch of innovation?
Yeah, it's hard to believe now. It's only 10 days away after the months and months of preparations and discussions that we've had, the plannings for the panels and the sessions, meeting the competitors and getting an opportunity to learn about their innovations and their businesses and what they intend to do. All very exciting, very fun stuff for me. I love innovation. I love looking at these companies and what they're doing. And my hope is that we'll get the opportunity to work with some of them here at Neoterra Capital after the event is over. But you know, the panels will be taking this. You and I are doing a little interview conversation in the middle of all of this. That I'm sure will be interesting. We're also doing some discussions on bringing AI and other advanced technologies into the practice of treatment developments, pharmaceutical developments, medical affairs, other things, and how challenging it is to take what has typically been seen as a very rigid, disciplined approach to bringing products and services to market, and then blending that with the fail fast, try it and see what happens approach we typically see in other technologies. So it's going to be interesting to talk about that as well. Very excited for all of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and the panel I think you're also alluding to is rewarding tech versus scientific talent. in the industry and what the implications are. Right, that's kind of the focus there. But we'll have a lot of diverse perspectives there, from HR executives as well as you and Bart Zoni, your perspectives as an investor, as a leader, founder, as well as Bart Zoni, with a lot of marketing and medical affairs expertise. We have a guest here, David Mead, one of our competitors. All right. How are you, David?
Pretty good, thank you. How are you?
Great. So without giving too much away about your concept or a product that you've submitted, please introduce yourselves. Why you got it? Why did you get involved in this competition? 16-day competition.
Well, I had not experienced this format before, and it looked like an interesting challenge. I'm David Mead, the CEO and co-founder of Terra Bioforge. We engineer bugs to make more drugs, and we've got an incredibly potent synthetic biology tool set to, in months instead of years, overproduce these genetically encoded drugs that are really challenging to work with. So it's a fun combination of molecular biology, pharmacology, drug production, drug discovery.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So Terra Bioforge, David Mead, connect with him, everyone here at the panel. Chris Piedmont, by the way, Chris, he's been kind enough to offer mentorship, one-on-one mentorship as well to all the competitors. David, you included, and others. Awesome. So take advantage of that before the intensity only goes up from now on in these 10-minute presentations that you'll be doing. So,
let me say something about that, because I think it's important. Yeah. 10 minutes, these short presentations, they're very difficult to do. Very difficult. It's much easier to do a 30, 40-minute presentation than it is a 5 or 10-minute presentation, because you have to be very succinct, very clear. You have to make sure you hit the important highlights of the work you've done, the venture you're building, what you need, why you're going to be successful. It's very, very challenging. Content for presentations too also is a challenging thing. For the most part, those of us that are built companies or technicians or engineers or researchers generally don't do the types of presentations that we're talking about here at this event. So getting that right is challenging. And like I said, any competitor that wants is welcome to 30 minutes of my time to get coached up on how to present and to work a little bit on their presentation materials to give them the best possible advantage of winning this competition.
Yeah, great points. Yeah, thank you. So we will have other surprise guests as well. We have another investor who will be joining us again, Junaid Mian from 1435 Capital, as well. So the party, the festival of ideas is only getting larger. So make sure to take advantage of this. Now, in terms of the continuity from some of these sessions that we've been hosting here live, I want to share a few highlights from last week when Melissa Norcross joined us as well. She'll be moderating one panel. She was here last year as well. Okay, let me just.
I'm Melissa Norcross. I am the VP of Strategy at Highland Software, and I believe this is an incredible event because this is the moment in which innovation matters a great deal. There is all kinds of technology, all kinds of challenges out there that need to be addressed, and you can't afford to wait or pause. So this is a great opportunity to lean in instead of waiting for it to happen to you. So I'm really excited to be part of this and to help encourage innovation in ways that it may not be happening already.
Yeah, the more that I talk about this event with others and invite different people, leaders, the more new ways I'm trying to use to describe this event. And, ultimately, when I reflected, it's really a formula of learning, connecting, and competing together, right? In over 16 days. And I think Melissa's points about just the fact that we need innovation today, right? Why it's so important today, and why it matters, and particularly in medicine, where the difference may be life or death, right? What can can you highlight from the perspectives of, let's say, the format of what kind of people are we bringing together here? We're really bringing people who don't often intersect in terms of the industries or right and expertise. And what does that mean in accelerating innovation from your perspectives?
I guess I'll take
competitors,
that one.
you're learning from each other too, right, David? I'm looking at right, and
let me address that a little bit. The three elements you mentioned do contribute greatly. First of all, when you talk to people outside of your typical channels and get exposed to new disciplines, new ideas, new technologies, new ways of doing business, you do learn, and that learning can simulate ideas, ways of taking someone else's practices or techniques or relationships in some cases and bringing them into your own circle can sometimes provide a unique advantage in how you develop your products or services and bring them to market. So I generally encourage people, if you have the opportunity to talk to someone outside of your industry, have that conversation, learn about them and how they operate. You may discover something you can use in your own business. From the competitive side, that element, which is unique to this, particular forum, drives people to improve. When you know that you're in competition against someone else, it does drive people to say, I can do better. I'm going to rehearse. I'm going to, walk through my slides again and make sure that I'm presenting the right material. Particularly as close as some of these competitions have been, a slightly better presentation, a little bit better content, more informative slide might make the differences to where you place. So that does, I think, contribute greatly to everyone improving, their presentations, their materials, and how they, interact with everyone else. And that lasts. I mean, you learn that here at this event, but you take that away with you. And by competing and being involved in this process and this event, everyone, regardless of where they place, will improve their presentation ability, their content, and their chances of success, quite frankly. So that's one of the reasons I really enjoy, working and being part of this. Is it makes a real difference to some of these companies, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think that's, you captured it very, very well there, I think, Chris. Yeah, I'm glad actually David also joined us here today. I mean, that's what you get out of this, at the end in 16 days and maybe beyond.
I like listening to other pitches because it helps challenge. You hear other perspectives on not only how to present and talk about and think about a subject, but ideas on best practices for presenting complex ideas and solutions. And as Chris mentioned, this stuff is not easy or trivial. So it takes a lot of practice and insight and feedback. Oh my gosh, the feedback is everything.
Yeah. And the challenge too is you're speaking to a broader audience. This is the other challenge in this, right? It's not a group of your peers who already understand the science, the mechanics, the TLAs, I like to call them, 3-letter acronyms. All of that is new to the audience. So you have to be careful that you speak in terms and in context that the general population can understand. That is very challenging. I see it often in the presentations I see, and I do help, like I said, coach people how to address that. But it's a challenge that does need to be overcome, and it's definitely something you can learn here.
Chris makes a great point there, and I've seen this from many of the competitors, but also more broadly in other pitch competitions. And it's really going down the story, but getting emotional engagement. So practice giving your pitch to people that aren't technical. In fact, the less technical, the better. And I think engineers, scientists, physicians, we all like to get into the details. But when you're actually pitching, that doesn't matter so much. It's really the big why. It's storytelling and getting our emotional engagement, getting people to sit up and pay attention and understand what you're telling them, and then describe your unique solution to the problem that you're solving. And then also importantly, let's not forget, how are you going to get it to market? How are you going to be able to make money? That's what the investors want to hear. It's great if you've got a fantastic solution that will bring a lot of value to a large number of people, but you got to get it economically sound. So pay attention to that as well. Engagement, the big why, what's unique, and how you're going to commercialize it.
Yeah. Eddie, I think you had a comment also earlier.
One of the beauties, I think, of this, as we're all touching upon, is just the richness and diversity of thought that we have. I mean, even those of us here at the moment have very different backgrounds, very different perspectives, very different life and work experiences, but all of that comes together. It's fundamental to really successful innovation. And one of the things that I really like about this is that it gives you a spectrum, right? If you're talking about medicine's development all the way from discovery through to patient care and management, that even those of us who have a history like in pharma drug development don't always see. But it allows you to gain that holistic view and also give you an understanding and a sense of the system. And for the competitors, I think that also helps in learning from each other and how all those pieces will eventually fit together. So again, for me, I would encourage all those competitors to think holistically and to really leverage that diversity of thought that we all have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to play one more clip actually from last week, which I chose as a highlight from Melissa Norcross, who talks about the long-term value of this event, and she makes a distinction, about surplus of solutions versus surplus of technologies currently. And let's listen here.
I would say, this agenda, I think, clearly brings in all of the things.
Oops. Oh, the volume is a little bit low. I'm going to play it again here.
I would say, this agenda, I think, clearly brings in all of the things that you were talking about in terms of what's going on with technology. I mean, we all know we're living and trying to figure out what to do with AI, but that isn't the only technology that's happening to us, that's popping up. And this notion of, technology that can help us identify things early, that can help us treat things. It's not, what we have today isn't a surplus of solutions. It's a surplus of technologies that we need to work to find the use cases that will allow us to do something extraordinary with it. So the more you can get access and an understanding of those different approaches and technology and other things, the better positioned you are to solve any problem. And this is definitely a place to think about those, and it will have dividends. There is a long tail of dividends, right? You'll get some immediate help on these things, but you will also plant seeds that will then develop further down the path that I think often we understate, is that, yes, you get immediate benefits. Yes, you get to participate in these things. You get to hear these things now. But the real value is that in a month from now, when you see the next problem, your toolkit is much more well developed and well stocked. So you have the ability to then go in and solve those problems better as well. It makes you a better competitor, but it makes you a better collaborator as well.
Okay. So
the leads are broke. You just don't understand.
Okay. All right. Getting a lot of background noise there.
There we go. Yep.
Okay.
So we're right at the half past the hour. I don't know about everyone else, but unfortunately, I need to go.
Sure.
So maybe
Yes.
it's best we wrap here for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's a good note on which to wrap things up with Melissa's comment there. Any final invitations for our with 10 days to go? So in the comments, search for the comment. There's a link there where you can sign up. But this is a time for you to really focus, be open to connecting with lots of leaders. I am so indebted, so blessed with gathering a group of just incredible individuals and leaders, and just to join us together on this journey. Okay, so we have a long-term vision for this event, and for where we're how we're going to support innovation, and we're, I think, addressing all the global topics and the underlying challenges that all of us have on our mind in an atmosphere that's safe to share with each other, and also one that's fun and that's going to challenge each one of us as well. So thank you everyone for joining. Any other comments from maybe others?
Looking forward to this.
Yep, absolutely. Sign up, take advantage of the opportunity. John,
If you're thinking about it, do it now, because you'll miss the boat otherwise. You don't want to miss the boat.
Yep. All right, great. Have a great day.
Great. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, that went well.